Avengers 2012 starts off with Thor, played by Chris Hemsworth. His evil brother Loki, Tom Hiddleston, is launching an evil plan to take over the Earth with the help of that powerful cube, the Tesseract. This threat to humankind is so large that it's going to take a bunch of guys. That is when S.H.I.E.L.D., with the help of Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson, put in Operation Avengers into effect. He gets the whole gang together. Thor, Iron Man, Captain America, the Hulk, Black Widow, even Hawkeye. Played by wannabe cool guy Jeremy Renner. Although this is not the traditional creation story of the superheroes, this without a doubt, in my opinion, is definitely the creation story of the Avengers team. I am not gonna lie guys, it's been years since I've seen the 2012 Avengers movie, to the point where I had it jumbled in my head what parts were in this movie and the other Avenger movies. I started watching, I was like, oh yeah, that's in this one, that one, oh yeah, this, that. I really enjoyed the movie. I actually liked it a lot. I really enjoyed how they had the characters, the strong personalities, how they were going to have to get together to work together, and how can you get them to get together to work together and find a commonality to unite on, put the egos aside, the little dominance game they have to play in order who's going to lead, who's not going to lead. You know, Captain America and Iron Man, those personalities clashing with Thor. And then my worries about Mark Ruffalo. How did he do? I didn't know, because I'd seen the other Hulks not that long ago on those other movies. And I was like, well, how's he do? I don't know if he does real good or not. He does a really good job. He does a great job taking the reign of the Hulk. He also does a great job showing his personality, interacting with other people, the other smart people like Tony Stark, and them kind of doing a little bit intellectual sparring. Like, oh, okay, Bruce Banner's no dummy either. He can hold his own against Tony Stark. Honestly, the effects in this movie, I didn't think any moment they looked too cheesy. They looked pretty good. The Hulk did appear, not as much as I'd like. I swear I just like to make more Hulk movies. We just walk around Hulk all the time. But anyways, the Hulk held up pretty good in this one too. He was in it a decent amount. I really like the way Josh Whedon met, and the writers, I assume. They said, okay, we're going to introduce this Hulk no one knows about. They saw pictures of him being violent and they're all afraid of him. So let's go ahead and how are we going to build this up to this introduction where they're going to meet the Hulk or what's going to happen. And so when the build up finally happens, you're like, oh my gosh. Eee. Now all of these superhero movies, but especially the Avenger ones, they go on really long. And for me, I often enjoy them better with a little bit of a break. Just some time off. Maybe it's 15 minutes, maybe it's 30 minutes, maybe it's the next day. But I tend to enjoy them once I've taken a break, once it feels like it's kind of lull, getting kind of okay, it's been going on for a while. At that point to go ahead and say, hey, I'm going to take a break and continue watching this later. I don't have to finish it now. I enjoy more of it that way. Which brings me to my point of a life lesson that we can all learn that I have the hardest time doing, knowing to take a break. I can get set into my goals, like building this channel, making YouTube videos, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, it's super intense and I'm working and I'm loving and I'm working towards a goal. But there's a point where I'm like, am I ignoring other things in my life? Notice I said before to learn know when to take a break, not know when to keep grinding and grinding and grinding to the point where you're neglecting things that you should not be neglecting. You're not seeing the payback for your amount of work that you're doing, and you end up burning out and quitting and never looking at that again and never trying to achieve that goal again. I know there's other YouTubers that watch my channel and I know they're grinding too, and you just can't, you gotta pace yourself. Gotta take those breaks, man. And you guys have taught me that, and I hope I teach you guys that too. Sometimes just take breaks. If you're going to take a break for a day or two because maybe work was really hard, life gets in the way, then I think it's important to have when you're going to start again and what you're going to work on. That's what I learned from this movie that made me think of take a break, relax, balance. This is a marathon. In summary, The Avengers 2012 does a great mixture of, Josh Whedon does a great mixture of humor mixed with seriousness subject. Guys, I definitely recommend this movie. If you're into the MCU universe, this is definitely an essential movie to watch, and it's worth seeing again. The movie's definitely better than I remember. Even some of the lame things, it's like, well, actually, that wasn't too bad now that I'm watching it a third or fourth time after years of not watching it. So, guys, I'm going to give this movie an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. You don't have to stop here. You can continue learning life lessons and learning about interesting movies with the MCU playlist right there. The themes of building a better life tools in MCU movies. But if you want to take random chances, you can do this movie. That list right there, the algorithm is going to tell you which one you want.